What's up, Tyler? How's it going?
Not too bad. How you doing?
Not bad, not bad. Good day to drop some knowledge bombs.
Hmm. Always a good day.
Yes, yes.
So yeah, we were talking about kind of the differences between high school, college athletes, and I think like one of the biggest differences we kind of talked about a little bit, but I was hoping you could go into more was like the physical difference between the college level versus high school level.
Yeah, that's a great question. And a question that I get asked a lot by my high schoolers and how they can prepare for college. Uh, One of the biggest differences, obviously, physically, athletes in high school aren't as developed as those athletes in college. In the age range from freshman to junior year is a lot of growing. And same with freshmen through seniors in college. But it's how you prepare and you foster that growth. It's a huge difference. One thing I've noticed, at least when I was playing in high school, is we didn't really have like a weight training program. We didn't really have like a structured off-season program or anything. We had like a fall ball, which was like kind of like twice a week. We kind of would play around. It wasn't too in depth. It's not the same type of fall ball you'd see in college, obviously. Um, but we really didn't have like a structured off season weight training program at all, or just training program in general. And what I mean by training program, including weight training as well as your agility plyometrics, footwork conditioning, stuff like that, to really develop a well-rounded player, an athlete. And that's something I don't really see often at the high school level. Um, I know that the group that we work with, the high school group that I work with, we implement those and we see a huge difference in their performance, especially when it comes time for the season. Now, college, the difference between the college program that I work with is, we have structured programs for all of their seasons, for their fall ball season, for their winter off season, in season in the spring, and then even a summer off season. So we have different type of program protocols for each one of their seasons that are season specific to really focus on uh, that individual's, whether it's their goal oriented, whether gain weight, lose weight, maintain in the off season, and then their ability to recover in season and perform maximally every single day. I have seen a couple high school programs that have implemented a very well-rounded type of off-season and in-season program structure that incorporates weight training and conditioning and agility and plyometric training. And those are the type of programs that are typically much more successful. A great example that I know is Calvert Hall, at Calvert Hall College, college prep, high school. And those athletes, I know some of the strength trainers and pro athletes that work with that program, they do an incredible job with those athletes all year round. And it shows. They just won their third championship. And that's why they're continuously one of the best programs in the nation by far. Because it's not just what they're doing in season. It's not what they're doing during the practice time. It's what they're doing outside of that practice time to make each individual better. And by doing so, they're also making the team better. And that's what really sets programs apart, is not just what are you doing in practice, what are you doing outside of practice to get better, to make yourself better for your team and to push your teammates, and what are you doing outside of your in season? What are you doing in the fall? What are you doing in the winter? What are you doing in the in season? And obviously, what are you doing in the summer off season? That's going to really set you apart and your program apart from other programs. And it's those athletes that have those structured programs that are going to transition much easier from high school to college than those that don't. I've seen it when I was playing college. My cousin, he kind of got me into training and really investing my time in the weight room and on the field outside of practice to take my performance to the next level. That's when I fell in love with training, and it was an easier shift for me going from high school to college than a lot of the other incoming freshmen that didn't have any background or knowledge with weight training, let alone any of the other type of training. So that's really what helped set me apart from other athletes, and that's what I try to do with my high school athletes, is treat them almost as like a college prep. We put them on almost like a college prep program. It's going to be very similar to a type of program that I have my college athletes on, because that structure is going to benefit you whether or not you're in high school or college, or even with the professional level. So that's one thing that I highly recommend high school athletes, is invest in your time spent outside of practice to maximize your performance on the field. And having that type of well-rounded and structured program from fall through the winter through in season, and yes, you should be lifting in season. It's a very different type of lifting protocol than we would have off season. It's a whole nother topic and conversation that we can get into another time, but it's very important. And the off season, if you have a structured program like that, it's going to be very similar to that in college, maybe a little bit more intense and maybe a little bit more in depth, but the transition from going from high school to college for you is going to be a lot easier.
Would you say a lot of these high school communities are pretty underserved? And if so, like, how can the athlete, knowing that they don't have these programs in place, how can they take it upon themselves to kind of prepare themselves if they're not fortunate enough to be part of that kind of organization?
Yeah, that's a great question, actually. Yeah, it's tough if your program and your school doesn't have that type of resources available to you. It is difficult. What I definitely would recommend for those athletes is reaching out to professionals like myself that can help put together and walk them through a very comprehensive performance and even nutrition program to really help you get the most out of your off-season, in-season training and nutrition to allow you to recover and perform better. And then if you don't have a gym at school, most high schools have a weight room. Now, the quality of that weight room can range drastically. So if you don't have a quality weight room at school, there are definitely a lot of options with gyms around the local area. Like, I know a lot of our athletes go to the Gold's Gym, which I go to. Same with LA Fitness, and I know some that go to, I think, Powerhouse and Planet Fitness. But really, you can find any local gym that you can utilize if you don't have a weight room at school. If you have a weight room at school, one thing I've done with different athletes is, based on what equipment they have available to them, we'll kind of tailor their programs accordingly and specific to that, so that they can utilize what's in front of them if they don't have money or can't afford to just get another gym membership, or don't have time or can't get to another gym. So there's definitely different ways. We can also implement a body weight training program to get you started and have you progress. Build a solid base and have you progress that way. But that's a good question.
Love that. Yeah. I think there's a solution for everybody. They just have to kind of take it upon themselves to figure that out, figure out what works for them, because they have to realize that getting to the next level does require that physical component.
Absolutely. Getting to that next level is going to require more time and energy invested in your sport, not just on the field, but off the field as well. And if you take that time and you do invest in yourself, your performance will increase. Your ability to make an impact at the next level, at the collegiate level, will also increase.
That's amazing.